Hi. I promised you to do a video on how to break the trauma bond, which is no easy task, but I will give you a very, very effective tool in the end of this video. But first, I will ask you to press the subscribe button so you are supporting the work that I do here on the channel of helping you to heal for free. Trauma bond, what is it really? Well, you can feel it because even though you know that someone, the narcissist or some other toxic person, isn't good for you, and they have been abusive to you, and they have been demeaning and belittling and ridiculing you, even though you know that they are not good for you, even though you know that you should not have them in your life, you still miss them. And you only think of the good times, and you want that back, and you're thinking about what you're missing out on, and how things could change if just blah, 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 blah. So you ruminate. Ruminate means that you have thoughts racing in your head all the time, and they go in circles, and you really don't get anywhere with them. So rumination is really unhealthy, because when we ruminate, we also secrete stress hormones in the body, which is going to make you sick if you don't do something about it, both emotionally, mentally, and physically. So you really have to take your own healing seriously. But that is how you feel it. You want to be with someone even though you know they're not good for you. And physiologically, what is happening in your body is that your brain is actually built with this intent. Excuse me. In the old days, pre-civilization, living in tribes, it was really important to stick together no matter what. Sticking together meant survival. And being on your own, being alone, being excluded or rejected or abandoning your tribe meant that there was a high probability that you would die of starvation or be killed by a predator. And of course, nobody wants that. The problem is that our brain has evolved some over the last few thousand years, but not that much. And that means that we still have these mechanisms in our brains that tells us, I need to stick with my tribe. I need to stick with what I know more than what is good for me, because that will mean my survival. So the brain is wired in a way so you will seem to forget the pain. You forget the pain that the narcissist brought you, the abuse and the belittling and the demeaning, and especially because the narcissist kept saying that it's your fault. You're the one to blame for this. You made it happen. It was your own fault that he called you, or she called you all those names. You could just have behaved better, or been kinder, or smarter, or thinner, or richer, or anything. Then he or she wouldn't have had to be so mean to you. So what your brain does, that it numbs out the pain. It makes you remember less of how hurtful it actually was. And it makes you remember all the good stuff instead. And then you long for that, because if there's anything a narcissist can do, is that they can make you feel really, really special. Here's a little side note. The love you thought that you had with a narcissist, first of all, the narcissist cannot love, so the love was not real. The love from the narcissist was not real. However, the love you felt inside you is very real. And that love, that feeling of being loved and being worthy and being lovable and attractive and important, that feeling is yours. It is inside you. It is yours to have and to hold. It is not depending It is not depending on someone outside yourself. You probably think it is. I can never be this happy if I'm not with the narcissist. Well, that's not true. You have the feeling in you. And with meditation and exercises, you can actually enhance that feeling inside you on your own. So, just on a side note, that's not what this video is about though. So now you know how you feel the trauma bonding, and you know what trauma bonding is. So we want to get rid of that trauma bonding because it's really, really stressful to be ruminating over something that we intellectually, cognitively know is not what we need. It's not what we want. It's not good for us. So how do you stop it? Well, here's a very, very easy exercise that you can use to help the rumination and the missing of the narcissist. The thing we want to do is we want to distract, because thoughts like that, you can't just shut them down. That would be really, really nice, wouldn't it? But we can't do that. We can't just bam. It's not like we can flip a switch and then they go off. Or we can suppress them or deny them and pretend they're not there. No, that doesn't work either. You've probably tried it, so you know that that doesn't work either. No, what we have to do is we have to turn our attention to something else. We have to be a little sneaky. So what I want you to do is next time you think about what happened, or the narcissist, or the love you're missing out on, or anything that has to do with the narcissist or the relationship you had with the narcissist, as soon as you see yourself thinking about that, sit down and close your eyes and listen to sounds. And if you're in a very quiet place, please go outside so you can hear things outside. You know, listen. Are there any birds singing? Listen to the birds sing. What kind of bird is that? You know, you can wonder, what kind of bird is that? Do I know what bird it is? And if you know, then picture the bird in your mind, what it looks like when it's singing that song. Or maybe you can hear cars, and some cars sound different than others. Listen to the cars going by. Maybe there's a truck going in there as well. You know, be very, very conscious of what sounds you're hearing. Or maybe you can hear someone mowing a lawn in the distance, and you can try to guess how far away is this lawnmower actually. So what you actually do here is you're taking your attention. You're not trying to deny the thoughts or put them away or stop them. You're actually taking your awareness. And normally in psychology, we want to be aware of ourselves. We want to think about ourselves. We want to be conscious about ourselves and feel what's going on in ourselves. But here, there's no healthy point to doing that. So we want to take our consciousness and awareness, and we want to put it outside ourselves. So listening to sounds and thinking about the sounds and who makes them or what makes them and where they are and what it looks like, the thing or the person or the animal that's making the sounds, what they look like, thinking about that will actually help you. However, there is one more thing that is really, really important here, and that is you have to do the work. You have to decide that you will do this, because a lot of the time there is also like a junk feeling, a junking feeling in the whole rumination. It's kind of like you're junking on it. You're addicted to it. You don't want to get away from it. There's something in you telling you that if you just keep thinking these thoughts, then you will come up with a solution. And when you hear me say it, you know that it's not true. It's not going to solve anything. So what you want to do is you want to move your focus to something else. And this is generally for healing. When you've been with a narcissist, every time you think about him or her, please turn your attention to something else. Another little tool you can use is have a hobby, some kind of hobby that you can turn to, and preferably a hobby that you have where you have to think about what it is that you do. For example, I know that cooking helps many people, so we all want to live healthy and take good care of our body. So for example, I could encourage you to find a recipe for cashew nut cheesecake with no sugar, no dairy, and no wheat, no gluten in it. So find the raw cashew nut cheesecake recipe online. Next time you ruminate, find it and then go buy the ingredients and make it, you know? Because then you have your attention on something outside yourself that you need to think about. You have to read the recipe and find the ingredients and go get them, and you have to find the right measurements for the ingredients and make it and all that. So having something like that to put your energy into will also help you. So you can see that this is an exception for everything we talk about in psychology and healing, where we have to be aware of inner child and ourselves. Here we need to move our focus outside ourselves to something else. We need to distract ourselves from the thoughts of the narcissist. I hope you will follow this little tool, and I hope you will click subscribe to support my channel, and I hope you will take really good care of yourself. You deserve it. Take care.